1045 The Team, your home for New York sports. Our friend, the Vegas insider of all Vegas insiders, Brandon Lang, with us now. Of course, you should go to brandonlang.com before you fill out your brackets. That is how you are going to take home the most cash. But Brandon, first and foremost, what does Vegas see more action now for March Madness, or when you are absolutely lights out in the Super Bowl?
March Madness, because first of all, top three things on your bucket list. One, you should skydive before you die. It's the most incredible thing in the world. Number two, you got to scuba dive the Great Barrier Reef. And three, you have to go to Vegas if you're a degenerate like we all are.
Right.
Experience the first 4 days of the tournament, because it's all day. The emotional swings. A lot of these games come down to the wire from a point spread standpoint. You see guys with 10 seconds to go, clashing their beers with their buddies. Man, we're celebrating. We're going to Spearmint Rhino. We're going to take it deep. This is what we've dreamed about our whole life. And then they lose, and they're going to end up at, like, the Palomino Club where it's just no one's there. That's kind of what Vegas will do to you. And you got to experience that, because they're standing right next to you. They're celebrating. All we got to do is get a little stop here. Guy throws in a half-court shot, and they're looking at each other going, dude, I want to go home.
What are some of your favorite wins in March Madness history, and some of your worst beats in March Madness history?
The greatest win ever was the Northwestern State over Iowa. Because I called from outright. They won at the buzzer on a corner jumper. Another big win. And again, as the years go by, you forget who they are. But I can't remember who I had plus 8.5 over BYU, and their BYU 90% free throw shooter missed a free throw that would have taken it to 12. And instead they're up 11 with like 6 seconds to go, and the point guard drives down, goes baseline, gets underneath the basket like he's going to shoot a layup, and kicks to the guy in the corner who at the buzzer hits a three. They lose by 8, cover the 8.5. I mean, there's just game after game after game where when you win a game like that, you just like, no way. But small school. It's like not Northwestern State, but somebody's Woolford. It was Woolford. It was Woolford plus 8.5.
Okay, I remember that. Yep.
Over BYU in the first round or second round, because they won their first round game in an upset. And kid kicked to the corner, hit the three. Unbelievable. So yeah, it's just for me. It's all day long. I don't move. I try to lose a lot of weight before the tournament because I eat while I'm watching games. The Pizza Hut and Pizza Domino's pizza commercials kill me.
Brandon Lang with us right now, Vegas Insider, brandonlang.com for all your insight you could possibly use right here on 104.5 The Team. So last year, the team that destroyed my bracket was Middle Tennessee, the Blue Raiders, when they took out Michigan State. Do you see a team that could possibly play that role this year?
It's them again. But Vegas shows you what they think of the committee and what they do with their seating. Don't pay attention to these knuckleheads in Kansas City who set the brackets up. Vegas looks at them and says, you guys got to stop sniffing glue or put that bong down because you guys have no idea what you're doing. And a perfect example of that is let's go right to the 12-5 matchup, because of the 4-5 seeds, Notre Dame's laying 7. Virginia opened 8.5. They're now 7.5. Iowa State 6.5. But you look at the 12-5 with Middle Tennessee State and Minnesota. That game opened up Minnesota -1. It's now a pick'em, and there are some Middle Tennessee State -1 starting to sprinkle there. So Vegas is basically telling you that's not a 12-5. That's an 8-9 matchup. They value Middle Tennessee State as being much better than what the committee has seeded them. And like John Calipari said, the damage is not putting Middle Tennessee State at 12. It's punishing Minnesota that they now have to face them out of the box. And I love Middle Tennessee State to get to the Sweet 16. I'm a big believer in that. I think people are going to probably jump on Florida State a little bit. Florida Gulf Coast could be a bracket buster. That's a 14 that I like a lot. A lot of people are high on Purdue. Don't sleep on Vermont. I know Purdue's size, but they're a little slow. That's a 13 seed that could be a bracket buster. And a lot of people are high on Iowa State, including myself. And I'll say this. I do have Iowa State going to the Final Four. But, guys, I am as nervous as anyone, because if Nevada beats Iowa State, they could then beat Purdue. And there's a bracket buster right there. And Nevada can also beat Kansas. Nevada has 2 guys that are going to play in the NBA. It's unfortunate the rest of the team's a little below them. But if you've not seen Nevada play, and people haven't because they're on the West Coast, they are legit with Eric Musselman as their head coach. He's a brilliant, brilliant head coach out there on the West Coast. So that could be a big bracket buster as well.
Vermont in there, too. Now, we know you have a good connection with the Vermont guys, too. You're not getting biased because of Brady Farkas and Arnie Spainer, are you? Those Vermont guys brainwashing you a bit?
No, not at all. Not at all. I love the story. Listen, they have the Freshman of the Year, they have the Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and they have the Conference Player of the Year. So they have talent, and they got a great coach. So Purdue is big, but they're a tad slow, and Vermont's quick. So I think it's a great matchup, and Purdue has a history under Painter of bowing out early. And Vermont is a mini version of Michigan. And Michigan took out Purdue in that tournament, Big Ten tournament. So again, like I said, upsets are going to happen. I do like East Tennessee State to maybe upset Florida. That's another bracket buster. You look at the SEC last night. Alabama laying 7 at home last night, lost outright to Richmond, and here Florida's laying 10.5 out of the SEC as well. So keep an eye on that.
Brandon Lang with us right now on 104.5 The Team.
A lot of exciting round of 64 stuff there. You touched on Iowa State as a potential Final Four team. Who else are you looking for as Final Four teams and your eventual national champions?
I have SMU taking out Duke in the Sweet 16. If Duke gets by SMU, I got Villanova taking out Duke. I got Nova going back. Now, 3 of the best games that I saw all year in college basketball was UCLA-Arizona. All 3 games were epic basketball games. East Coast people have no idea what I'm talking about and haven't seen them play. But UCLA won at Kentucky in Lexington. They only had 4 losses all year. 2 of them were to Arizona. Another one was at Oregon when they were undefeated by 2. And then after the Arizona home loss, they went to USC and lost to their crosstown rival. That's it. This kid Ball, although his dad needs to put the crack pipe down, saying I'm going to get $1 billion for my kids, and I can beat Michael Jordan in one-on-one. The Xanax, the Zoloft, whatever he's taking, mixing with alcohol. I think he's going to get $1 billion. Listen, maybe we need some of that to make us delusional as well. But the kid's tremendous, and much like Carmelo Anthony, who took Syracuse to the national championship as a freshman and then turned pro, he'll be a good pro. And again, the dad said he's going to be better than Steph Curry. Again, whatever you're smoking, start selling it, and that's how you'll make your $1 billion. But I got UCLA down in the South, and then I got Iowa State or Louisville in the Midwest. And then it's going to be a rematch of UCLA and Arizona, with Arizona winning the national championship. If you've not seen Arizona play, they got their big kid back. They are lethal.
Brandon Lang, Vegas Insider, with us right now, 104.5 The Team. So, Brandon, of course, everybody knows you for, 2 for the money and all that stuff. But speaking of money, what are we going to find at BrandonLang.com?
1 day free all-access pass. I got a couple new handicappers up. Jack Brannion is absolutely killing it. He's come out of the box on fire. I think he's hit 7 straight, 11 of his last 13. If you wait till tomorrow, use the 1 day free all-access pass. You'll get every best bet absolutely free. It's an $800 value. My way of saying thanks for coming to the site and have a free day on me. So, and every one of my handicappers has a bracket up, including mine, so you can take a look and maybe help guide you through your bracket.
Brandon, you don't ever do women's college hoops, do you?
I'm going to bet UConn every game, lay the wood, $1,000 every game, 6 games. I'll probably pick up 6 dimes. That's basically strip bar money.
Are you Albany women or facing them in the first round, 16-1 seed?
That line's probably 40.
That's what I'm wondering. I haven't been able to find it anywhere, but even with 40, you would go UConn all the way.
Absolutely. They beat South Florida in their conference tournament by 55, put up over 100 on them. It's insane watching that team play and how if there's a number, but see, I don't think Vegas can make the number high enough. I'm interested to see what they go against the spread in the tournament, because there'll be a lineup somewhere. They do every year. So, somebody will have it. Offshore will have it. Some degenerate bookie will have it. I'll find it.
Brandon, I'm going to go find whatever LeVar Ball is on and try to convince myself Albany's going to pull the upset. So, just for my own personal sanity, man. Hey, man, we appreciate you. Thanks for making sense of this bracket for us.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Talk to you next week.